Okay, but some of you have already been here, so I see some new faces here, so welcome. My name is Adi, this is Michael, we're the organizer and we're co-organizers of the group. For the new faces, the new members, I know I don't want to bore everyone who's been here before, but basically we're trying to build a community from scratch. There's a lot of C++ developers, each one working in their own cubicles. Most of them don't know each other, and this is a great way to get to meet fellow professionals. I'm trying to get people from all the way from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv and everything in between to come to these meetings. That's why it's not in Tel Aviv or in Jerusalem. One of the first things I always do in the meetups is meet your neighbor. Basically, turn to one of your sides and talk. If there's somebody you didn't come with, say hello, introduce yourself, say where you're from, and tell them for 3 minutes, you know, what you would have been doing if you weren't a software developer. Okay, so that's great to see everyone meeting each other. One of the other things that I like to do is to get a feel for who's coming from where. So if you're coming from the Jerusalem area, let's say South Jerusalem, raise your hands. Okay, not so many as I expected. Maybe from between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Okay, almost more than half. And north of Tel Aviv. Okay, nice. Well, so it's pretty nice. It's about a quarter, a half, and another quarter. That's great. And this is exactly the kind of thing I wanted to see in our meetings. We try to give a very broad range of topics, so everyone here who I recognize, either if I've seen you before or new faces, please come to me. I'd like you to give talks. You can talk about basically anything. C++ is such a rich language, and there's so much to talk about, and I really think that everybody here can contribute. So talk to me. We have a queue of talks all the way up to June. So it's not that I'm going to tell you you have to make one for 2 weeks from now. There's enough talk. And I think we're going to, I mentioned this last time, we're going to do one meetup, which is going to be, at least half of it is going to be lightning talks. That's like 5-minute talks. I expect everyone to come and prepare something. It could be just a small bug you fix, the problem you can, a nice algorithm or whatever you think could be interesting, funny, sad, or infuriating, anything you wish. So there's going to be more information about that later this year, probably after the Pesach and the holidays. We do try to keep monthly meetings, so make it a habit. Once a month you come either here or to Mevaseret, where we usually have the other meetings. And I really encourage you guys to carpool together. So I know some of you are coming from relatively far away. You can turn this dead time into quality time. So meet people, learn new things. Our presence, I'm going to go over this quickly. You probably, most of you know our meetup group. We have a YouTube channel where we have our videos of the recorded talks. Our presentations are up on GitHub. You can find PDFs and code samples and whatever after we upload that after every meetup. As of last week, we also have a Twitter account. Who here has already seen it? Just Michael, okay. But it's actually been, I wish my Twitter account would have gained so many followers in such a short time. So this is actually amazing how many people are already following it. You can find us on the C++ Slack channel. We have our own user group, a room over there. We're also part of the Israel C++ Facebook group, together with CoreCpp. It's not very active, but again, if this is what you're looking for, and if you want to publish us more, I'm not so active on Facebook, I'm more a Twitter guy. So please, you're welcome. This is me, Adi Shavit, my email and my Twitter account if you're interested in my ramblings. Okay, some news about our group. As I said, we have a YouTube channel where you can watch videos of our talks that we're uploading after every meeting. We already have about 80 subscribers. I really encourage you all to subscribe. Maybe in a few years we'll actually get YouTube as some advertising budget. We already have about 240 followers on Twitter. So if you do Twitter, please follow us. I try to keep it very relevant to the group, so there's no strange things in there. Over the past week, we actually joined CppCon and Meeting CPP as joint community sponsorships. So basically, we're the community sponsorship. It's a very interesting concept. Basically, it helps build this global community of developers and organizations and user groups. And we have our logo of our group appears on the CppCon's website. It'll be on Meeting CPP. You see, we're in a very distinguished company on the list of CPP reference, CPP cast, the London group and the Russian group. So that's a very nice addition, and they do mention us occasionally. Next meetup, the date is already set, April 12th in Mevasolet Zion. This is right after, it's already after Passover. I think it's the day after Yom HaShoah, so it's a Thursday. And as usual, we need sponsors. These meetings can't happen without a little bit of support from the community, from your employers, from your companies. It's not a big expense, but it's something that we do need, and we are looking for some long-term sponsors. How to get involved? I'm going to go over this real quick. Give talks. Come to me, email me, get in touch with me or with Michael. We'll schedule you for a talk. Anything between 5 minutes to 1 hour is fine. It could be beginner level tutorial all the way up to super expert stuff if you think that's suitable, because most people here are the local gurus doing work. Again, sponsor us. We have a GitHub account. You're welcome to take a look. We already have about 3 projects there. If you think things need updates, please send us pull requests. And I'm just mentioning about hosting us. If you're not north of Tel Aviv or south of Jerusalem, we would be interested about being hosted at your companies. A little bit about C++ upcoming C++ conferences. So I mentioned this in my past talk. Italian C++ conference is the call for speakers is open right now until March 24th. NDC TechTown is open for call for speakers until May 1st. These guys will actually pay your ticket, your flight, and your accommodation. So it's a great opportunity to meet. I think Starstop is going to be speaking there. But if you want, this is a good opportunity to meet him and some other very well-known people. Upcoming conferences. This is not a comprehensive list. C++ Now, this used to be BoostCon, is happening May 6th to 11th. NDC Oslo is in June. The call for papers already closed, and I actually got the papers in, so I'll be going there. And CppCon and Meeting CPP the call for speakers is going to open, I think, in a few weeks, so look out for that. And I know that CppCon does actually sponsor unsponsored speakers, so they will pay for your flight to California and your hotel. So this is a great opportunity to meet all the people you see on YouTube and learn a lot and give a talk. And our group is a great place to gain experience by practicing your talk. Right, so a little bit ISO CPP news. Jacksonville meeting for the standards committee is ongoing as we speak in Jacksonville in America. We'll probably have a lot more details about that next time. I know that both ranges and concepts are just yesterday they passed into the I think it's the library working group from the library evolution working group. So there's very nice progress there, and we expect to see more. Another interesting thing that happened over the last month is that the ISO CPP survey results came out. I don't know, some of you are nodding, so I guess you've seen it. It's not a very statistically objective survey, but it gives a very interesting, I think several thousand people, developers answered it. And I think what everybody pointed out, the word cloud is the dependency management and the package manager. I think that's the hottest topic now. It came into the interest of the committee to actually think about these things. So there's been a lot of voices and a lot of, if you've seen CppCon talks and CppCast interviews about the subject, it's now getting more official recognition from the committee, so we should expect maybe within the next 10 years to see a dependency manager in C++. A few fresh links if you're not keeping up with the tide of information. There's now a C++ community calendar. You go to this link and you can see basically most of the conferences that are related to C++, most of the users group. Even this meeting right here appears here. I think we're this little marking right there. It actually pulls all the data from a meetup, so it's very up to date. There was a very, very interesting article about C++ 17 features, very comprehensive. Every feature actually has a very short, nice, and clear example. It's from the guys who make the PVS Studio. It's a static analyzer, a Russian company, and very well written article. I really recommend checking it out. The Meeting C++ blog has a blog post about ifconst expert, and how it can simplify your code in C++ 17. If you haven't used it, you should check it out. It's very cool. Andrei's C++ blog, I'm not going to attempt actually pronouncing his last name. It's how?
But you don't pronounce.
No, his last name. His last name, yeah. Okay. That's a whole. I'm not going. He's actually a very nice guy. We met a few months ago. Very nice, very smart, and he wrote a very interesting blog post about strings competing constructors. You should check it out. And there's another very popular blog by Bartolomeu Filipek. I think he's Hungarian, who writes about C++, and he wrote an interesting blog post about static variables and how they get initialized. So check it out. As I mentioned, sponsors are really the only way we can have these meetings and provide some nice, like having you sit here for 2 hours on a full belly is something that's really important, and this beautiful TV. So today our sponsors are Sheltec, who is providing this space for us. This is kind of like a WeWork compound. We have there's startups here that come and you can either rent open space or desks or rooms. And JP Morgan are kindly providing the refreshments. And actually JP Morgan, they're the first sponsor that are going to be kind of maybe not long term, but not yet, but it's a kind of a midterm. So they're going to be sponsoring us for several meetups. So I'd like to give them a hand. Yeah, and Andrea and Ian will say a few more words about JP Morgan in a few minutes. So we started a little bit late, and we said there was some traffic issues. So I'm going to try and finish as quickly as possible. In a moment, after Andrea and Ian are going to tell us about JP Morgan, Yair is going to do our Core C++, C++ Core Guidelines Corner.
Change the order maybe.
Oh, we might change the order. We'll see, but this is our plan for our program for today. Greg is going to give us a talk about SIM, and then unfortunately the talk about variant, the speaker he fell ill and he couldn't make it, so I'm going to give you a talk about called the Salami method about cross-platform development. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you very much.